That's it. And this time we're getting you ready to see out the year in style. And we're talking canapés.
Yes, one of my favourite. I could live on canapés. Lovely
Little
crunchy
nibbly bits.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes when you're hosting gatherings, it can be a bit stressy, can't it, if you want to do your food? But this food is all really good on a budget. You can do it ahead. And most importantly, it's delicious.
And it looks like you've made a real effort.
Yeah,
so your guests will feel special.
Exactly, because it's a lovely presentation, which I think is really important. So, first off, I've got my Brie cups. These are so tasty, so you've got some there to try. Now, you get lots of things like your shop-bought puff pastry, etc., but this is shop-bought croissant dough. And it's so much more flaky and light, and it's so lovely.
That's clever.
Yeah, it's really delicious. So, really easy. You can do this with puff pastry if you want to. You could even do it with little bits of old white bread and just roll it out and use that in a cup. But there's lots of different... You can always be sort of like, you know, freestyling. But
so ignore the pre-cut bits in it.
Yeah, just ignore them.
Yeah.
That'll just bake. It'll just close itself off and it bakes. And so I've got a little muffin tin here, sprayed it with a bit of oil.
So let's have a look at the size of your squares. Right, OK.
So you get about 20, there's 24 holes in this one.
Yeah.
So I've just sprayed this with a bit of oil and literally just pop them in, and that forms a little cup. If you don't have a tin, what do you think?
Yummy.
So even if you don't have a tin, you can do these in squares on a baking tray and just pile them up, and they're still really delicious.
Really good.
So in they go. And I'm using some Brie. I love Brie. You can use any soft cheese, or you could use any cheese, really. So in that goes into the cups. Oh, I just love, I could eat all of this plate, so
And
naughty.
also, the chances are you've got lots of cheese left over.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a good way to use up that cheese board.
Exactly. And I've got lots of different jams and chutneys here. So I've got some chilli jam. I've got some cranberry sauce. You might have some of that left over. Don't make a mess like me. Look, should have left it to the real people doing the work. But yeah, just add anything you like. You know, the cranberry is a really lovely addition.
Yeah.
There we go. Just going to use my fingers there. It's a bit messy. And then a bit of fresh rosemary if you want to. Adds a bit of colour.
And flavour, actually.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cheese through there. It was lovely.
And then some black pepper. And then that goes into the oven to bake, only for about 12 to 15 minutes.
OK.
On 200. Now, you can actually do this the day before, just have them in the fridge. So, and just when you're ready to bake them, just put them in the oven. So you don't have to fuss about on the day. You know, when you've got a party and it's all a bit stressy. So that's them. So onto my garlic pizza stuffed mushrooms, which I love. So very, very easy. I've got some, you can use like mini portobello mushrooms or just large mushrooms. Got some shop-bought pizza sauce. And I'm just going to jazz it up with some fresh garlic.
So this is quite good because, actually, if you're somebody that's trying to avoid a load of carbs, nibbles are quite hard unless you stick to, like, olives or, like, a celery stick in a dip.
The mushroom is a really good idea.
But that is...
It works really well. It reminds me, you know, those 70s, like, garlic mushrooms?
Yeah.
It's like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you could even do it with, like, wedges of courgette if you wanted to and pile that up. That works really well. And they're really tasty, aren't they?
Amazing.
Really, really good. Like you say,
good.
if you're feeling like a bit carved out, then, you know, it's a nice change. So very, very easy to do. Again, something you do
In
with
my
the kids
head, I've just
even.
eaten a pizza.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I can't actually notice much difference.
In my head, you've just eaten a pizza.
Yeah, no, I love these. They're so tasty. So I've got a little bit of sauce on there. Again, you could do other cheeses on there. You could do Stilton, you could do a bit of bacon, do anything you want. Just be creative, use what you've got. I'm going with the classic pizza filling. I love pizza. So I've got some mozzarella cheese there. And again, with pizzas, everyone's got their own favourite toppings, so you can put all different sorts of things on there.
These are a very good idea.
I'm going back in. I've got one with, what's that called, salami?
Yeah. Salami or pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
You could have some ham, sweet corn. I love olives, so I'm going to go for olives. And actually, I do like a little. Like, if you want to as well, I like a little bit of parmesan as well, because you know you get that sort of like little punch of extra cheesiness because mozzarella's quite mild. And then on go the olives, and then they just bake off. So you want to bake them in the oven for about sort of 15, 20 minutes.
So you don't put any more oil on there?
A drizzle of oil, sorry, yeah, drizzle of oil. Bake them in the oven for about 20 minutes. Now, when you bake mushrooms, you know they've got quite watery, so they get quite liquidy. So for the last 5 minutes, you just want to get a rack, set that above your tray, pop them on, and then that just crisps off the base. They're kind of easy to eat, and they're quite sort of crispy and crunchy.
Could you not just cook it on that in the first place?
You can do, but you find that they kind of do dry out and the bottoms go a bit sort of leathery and dry. You know how it's sort of like dried out, like air dried. So you do, the best way to do it is just bake them first, and then just carefully just transfer them onto that rack for the last 5 minutes.
I'm definitely going to make those.
Yeah. And again, you can just make them up the day before. You cover them over, and just they're ready to go. So
I'm not done with those.
Finish them off.
The good thing is I didn't get one with the salami on it, so
They're really good.
You can have one of those.
Going in with that.
They're so Moorish. So my last one, I love these. So I love doing roasted gnocchi. So obviously, usually you see the gnocchi, it's in a pasta dish, it's all soft, you just boil it. But you can literally just get the packet of gnocchi, you don't need to pre-cook it, and just pop it into your tray, lots of olive oil, garlic and thyme, roast them off for about sort of 20-25 minutes till they're really crunchy. So that's your base for this canapé. And then obviously you can use any flavours you like. So I've got a bit of a Spanish flavour going on here. So I've got some olive and some sun-dried or the half
They're like little
roasted
mini
tomatoes.
roast potatoes.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're really tasty. They're lovely fried. You can use them for pie toppings.
What cheese have you used?
I've used Manchego. It's one of my favourite cheeses. I say that about every cheese.
You just love cheese.
I do just love cheese. So you can use, like I say, any flavours. You could even, if you do eat meat, you could, creatively like thread some salami through there or some ham. You could even, put some Christmas turkey in there or, whatever you like. So,
and with a whole bag of gnocchi, actually, you're going to make loads of these. That probably works out quite good.
Oh, yeah, it's really not expensive at all.
Yeah.
The good thing is also, if you serve these, the chances are that in this way, they wouldn't have had it before.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, exactly. So, I think that's 3 lovely ideas. I can't wait to demolish one of these.
Go on, you tuck in.
Brilliant, that's lovely. Thank you
very much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Right, for details of today's recipe and more delicious ideas from our This Morning chefs, head to the free This Morning app.